Hello, Katie Wiggins here, Gold Ambassador, soon to be Senior Gold Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. And I'd like to speak with you a little bit tonight about the power of positive thinking and good attitude and what that means for your business as a Plexus Ambassador. So I am just finishing up my master's degree in counseling, and something that we see over and over again in counseling theory and in technique and practice is kind of learning how to help clients see a different perspective or see a bigger perspective on themselves, and how to kind of use that perspective to move forward. And that perspective really happens in a cycle of positive thinking. Positive psychology is becoming something that's very, very kind of cutting edge in the psychology field. And why does that matter? So your brain is actually hardwired to kind of shut down when negative emotions are around. Let's say, for example, you're walking through the woods and a tiger jumps out in front of you. And of course, probably the first thing you're going to feel is fear. Whoa, what am I going to do? This tiger might attack me. When your brain feels fear, when it feels a negative emotion, it focuses. It focuses on survival. It's a hardwired survival instinct. So now that you have this tiger in front of you, your brain says, okay, focus. What do I need to do to survive? Do I climb a tree? Do I pick up this stick and fight? Do I run away? Your brain is only thinking about the possibilities that are relevant to that situation. Now, on the opposite hand, you have positive thinking. Positive thinking opens your mind. So when you're thinking positive, it actually kind of does the exact opposite in the hardwired circuitry of your brain. So if you think, for example, let's contrast, someone who's angry, say they just got in a huge fight. When you're angry, when you're like so livid and just furious, you focus in on that anger, and that's really all you can do. There's not a whole lot you can do to move on, in that moment or to kind of think about anything else. It's all you want to think about is being angry. Think, on the other hand, of someone who's in love. Someone who's in love can't stop thinking about possibilities. What if the person does this? Or what if we have this many kids? Or what are we going to name our kids? And it's a little bit silly, but it's a really good kind of example of the difference between a negative emotion and a positive emotion and how your brain actually reacts to those states. So positive thinking gives your brain the opportunity to come up with more possibilities. What does that mean for your business? Well, it means that not only are you able to think about things a little bit more openly and get a lot more perspective, but you're also able to build skills a lot better when you're thinking positively. Think about a child who's running around playing, having, a grand old time, experiencing joy and happiness and contentment while they're running around outside playing. As that child is running around, they're probably jumping, maybe climbing trees, playing pretend. They're having a great time, but all of those skills all of those things they're doing are actually skills that they're building. They're building athleticism, they're building creativity, they're building social skills. All of those things that happen when we're thinking positively, sometimes we're not realizing that we're building skills, but we're actually practicing for other situations in life. And those skills that, for example, that child learns while they're playing outside stick around a lot longer than the positive emotions. So when you think positively and you build those skills in a positive emotion state, you actually prepare yourself for times later in life where maybe the positive emotions aren't there, but you've built yourself up in those skills and those resources that you're able to get through those negative times. There's something else in counseling. It's called a self-fulfilling prophecy, and you may have heard of this. But basically, you think something long enough, eventually it happens. And why does that work? Why is that a thing? Well, the brain is also hardwired to think first and foremost that it's right. It's another kind of survival, selfish, preserving instinct that I might believe my mom and I might believe my dad, but deep down inside, I really believe myself most of all. Now, people are taught to doubt. You can learn to doubt yourself, and most people learn to doubt themselves in some way throughout their life. But your brain is hardwired to believe itself above all other things. So, if you keep saying, I stink at this, I'm no good at this, I don't have the skills, I'm not a leader, when you allow those thoughts to repeat and repeat and repeat, it doesn't matter how many people are pouring into you and telling you how awesome a leader you are and how skilled you are and what a wonderful person you are. If you keep putting negative thoughts in front of your brain believes those things first. So that's why it's really, really, really important that you are your biggest cheerleader and your biggest champion, because your brain believes you above anyone else. So instead of having those negative thoughts stick around, negative thoughts come upon all of us from time to time. But in order to keep them from overtaking you, there's a lot of things you can do. But my favorite technique is whenever you feel a negative thought, I'm not a leader, I'm no good at this, a plethora of different things that you could be saying to yourself. You kick that negative thought out. You say, negative thought, you don't belong here. And you replace it with 3 positive thoughts. So, I am great at this. I really, really enjoy this and it makes me happy. And I am respected by this person and this person. You can come up with the different positive thoughts that suit your life, but those are really, really important things to do, is to replace the negative thoughts with positive thoughts. You can also meditate, you can pray, journaling, doing things that are fulfilling to your soul. For me, sometimes that's spending time around people that build me up, and sometimes that's retreating and spending time alone. So it really does depend on you and what you find fulfilling and restful. But self-care is so important, and self-care is really integral to that positive thinking. And making sure that you're keeping those positive emotions around in your life to keep your brain open and to be able to build skills that are ultimately going to benefit you, benefit your teammates, and benefit your business. So I just want to encourage you that when negative thoughts come, you kick them out and you replace them with positive thoughts, because you are your biggest champion, your biggest cheerleader, and by setting that positive attitude and that positive belief, you're really setting yourself up for success.